3 weeks today, it's Shedfest. And that car is going to be there come hell or high water. So, I have got a load of bits ready for it. However, today, it's turned out to be a little bit worse than we first thought. So, let's have a look at what I bought anyway. We've got new coil packs, we've got new spark plugs, we've got oil, we've got brake pads, we've got a gearbox service, we've got some mounts for the engine, other bits and bobs. And to be fair, all that stuff I thought was going to be pretty straightforward. Until I got the car on the lift. And as you can see, I took the sill covers off. We found rust. Oh, the sills have rotted. Not good. So as I said, in 3 weeks, this car, I'll put a link up there, AUTOALEX Shedfest. It's going to be there. And it's going to be ready. And the week after, this car is going to take the trip from Liverpool all the way down to Cornwall for a week with the family for our yearly holiday. So we're just going to have to get to it. So this is going to probably be over a couple of days, this video, but I might break it up into a few parts, see how I feel. Let's just get into it. So first job we're going to do, let's do an oil change on the engine. So I used a company called Rock Auto for this, which is in America. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Because surprisingly, it's cheaper to get stuff from America. It's bonkers. 1040 mobile super synthetic blend, just shy of 6 litres we've got there. It was £2 odd a litre. It was good stuff. We've got a genuine GM oil filter to go in. As I say, same as always on this channel, this is not necessarily the right way to do it. This is the way I do it. And this is also me doing the service, keeping it cheap, you know, nice and simple. So, it's a little bit mucky under here, but what do you expect for 160,000 miles and 23 years old? So, I think we'll just get straight into it. Yeah, oil change time. Let's go. So the oil sump on the Amiga is T45. Unless it's been swapped for an aftermarket one. Crack it off, make sure it comes off. Find a suitable bucket to catch all your oil in. Lovely. It's actually quite dark, that was due a change, definitely. While that's dripping out, we'll clean that nice little sump plug up. Now this has a built-in washer, or at least it does. It's stuck on there. You are meant to reuse them. Not meant to reuse them, you are meant to replace them. Not gonna lie, just gonna reuse it. Because I forgot to buy one again. I'll let that drain out. I'll pull that off there, I'll clean it up. As always, healthy dose of brake clean. It's a little bit like watching paint dry, isn't it? So now that is drained, put the sump plug back in, nip it up. Always, always torque your sump bolt up. Click, click. Do as I say, not as I do, that's what I always say. So that's in. So now it is oil filter time. So, ooh. Can you see that? Yes, we can. Right, so this, if I remember right, is a 27mm end on it. Now, you can put a little 3/8 drive. Oh, you can put a little 3/8 drive in the end of it. However, I never find that very easy, if I'm being honest. So, I tend, it's not 27, what size is that? Must be 24 or 25. Well, yeah. Oh, that's the one. It's going to be awkward now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knew it was going to be awkward. There we go. Oh dear, and the torch is gone. Oh, so, let that drip out. Now it's cracked off. Make sure you catch it in your bucket. Oh, like that. Oh, a little bit. And there is one lovely little oil filter. So, two main types of oil filters, paper cartridge or a canister. This car, surprisingly, depending on age, can have either. Now, that is the first time I've ever pulled an oil filter out of this car, and it's actually just started to squish up on the paper filter side. So that is bang on, due to be changed. So, again, let's clean that. Give it a little spray on the outside. Here we go, there's that. Let's get our new oil filter. Oh. Also, when you're working on a lift, sometimes it's good not to leave the parts in the car. GM oil filter. Sometimes it doesn't pay to buy aftermarket. That was £4 or £5 off eBay, someone selling them. So, yeah, just always worth having a nosy if you know what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, go to a good parts store. Look at that, that's how your filter should look. Lovely. So, new seal goes on the cap. Always swap this, it's not worth it, it comes with the filter. If it doesn't, you're not buying a good filter. Bin the old seal. New seal, a little bit of oil on it, just so you don't snag it. Make sure it's well lubed. Oh, don't like going in dry. Slide that back on. Lovely. And then, oil filter. You can't, I say this, you shouldn't be able to put this in the wrong way. Nothing on that end. Locator on that end. Locator. And then it won't fall out when you're trying to put it in. So, let's get that back in. Let's get the car up in the air. There we go, back to it. So, the famous last words of refitting is the reverse of removal. So you just gotta get your arms up in here, feed it in, start winding it. There you go, you can see my beautiful face now. Here you go. Now these do not need to be tight, although albeit this is much better than a lot of the plastic ones. It's aluminium at least, but you can still crack it. So wind it in as far as you can by hand. As I said before, 3/8 or the correct socket, which I couldn't find. Take your time, ratchet in the course amount you've ever seen in your life. There we go. That's it, and give it the old torque. Click, click. That's all it needs to be, not tight at all. So, oil's drained, new oil filters in. Bit more brake clean, let's give all this a wipe where I've got all my messy hands on everything. Oh. A little bit of cleaning up your way. This is just getting the excess off, you just don't want to stack anything. Is that what you know you've got a leak? Because it'll be fresh. So, normally, that'd be time to put the oil back in. However, I've got one other little job I wanted to do on this regarding the oil. And it is right, oh you can't see, bloody torch has died. It's right there. Oil pressure sensor. Now as you can see, it's awfully grotty. It's been weeping for a long time. Now I think it is just the seal. So, there goes my torch. I bought a new sensor. It was £7. So, let's get that out and swap that over as well. So unfortunately my torch has died, which isn't great. There is the old, horrible, nasty, covered in grime. I think it's the oil pressure sensor. Goes straight into the oil pump at the bottom. That's nasty. Oh, nice new one next to it with a brand new sealing washer for once I'm swapping the sealing washer. So while that's out, bit of brake clean as ever, give it a little clean up, get rid of the excess, and we'll pop the new sensor straight in. So that's the oil sensor done now. So we'll bring the car back down. Apologies, my torch has gone flat. I didn't plan on it being this late today. I've been doing a lot of other stuff as well. So, and yes, I know I'm wearing a funny hat, but it doesn't fall off no matter how much I shake my head. It stops the crap falling in my eyes. And I don't sweat in it either, which is important. So, yeah, deal with it. So, we'll bring the car down. Sensors connected back up. Cleaned all that off. Oil filters in. Sun plugs back in. We'll move that out the way before we knock it over. Oh, and my ratchet. Oh, and my socket. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's bring it down. As I said, for a change, I normally use Parts in Motion for everything parts wise, and or OP oils for my oil, which I highly recommend. Not affiliated, no sponsor, nothing like that. But this time I've used a company in America called Rock Auto. Now this car, for those who don't care, you're still getting told, is a Cadillac Catera. So because it's sold in America, you can get parts left, right and centre for it from there. And Rock Auto sorts all your shipping and fees and everything out all in one hit for you, which is fantastic. Just how I like it. So as I said, mobile, the basic spec super oil, it's more than fine for what I use my car for. Absolutely fine for that. So we've took the dipstick out, oil fill cap out, put it at the side. Yeah, and we'll get it in. We'll just get the big funnel, wherever that's gone. There it is. And we'll fill this up. Now, I'm terrible for doing this. I said this last time on the Puma and got the quantity wrong. I think it's 5.5 litres. So what I will do is I'll put 5 in. Use the old Google. Double check it. It's 5.5. I'll put the last little half in. And then I've got 1/2 litre to keep in the car. We're going to Shedfest in Cornwall. Top tip there. Always keep a little tub of oil in an old car. Any car for that matter, especially when you're going on a long journey. Ooh. Again, it was cheaper to buy the small bottles than one big one. The world's just crazy. So we're having a party next door. That's 4. I'm not going to put the 5th one in because it's going to get too tall and the oil thing's an absolute pain in the backside on this car to do. I'll get this in first. There's a lot for a few weeks till Shedfest. Again, I'll pop a link in the description. AUTOALEX, check him out. Shedfest tickets, as far as I'm aware, are still available, but they are selling out fast. So if you like anything high mileage, different, unusual, sheds, take a trip down. This year it's being held at Goodwood. I've never been. This is my first time. Hence the big push to get my car there sorted, because I have booked to be on, so you will see me there. If you are going and you want to say hi, by all means come and say hi. I'm going down with my friends. I'm staying over down there, so it should be a nice little road trip. If this is finished, which it will be. Dripping oil everywhere. There we go. So, now, being American, they're not a litre. They're the only country in the world that probably still use the quarts. So, it is 946 mil. I'm not working that out. So I've put in 4.73 litres. So we shall have a look. And we will oil quantity. 5.7 litre, 6 US quarts. How lucky was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in theory, that should be everything. We'll double check it on that. 5.676 litres. So, I'm not going to have any spare. But that's okay, I'll get a 1 litre bottle for in the car. That's fantastic. So, let's get this last one in. Oh, cold start, and she's pairing beautifully. Oil pressure light went out after a split second. No leaks. Job well done. Job 2. Coil packs and spark plugs. Now, this isn't gospel, but I do know Amigas like to eat coil packs. It's had a couple over the years. Bear in mind, we have had this car since it was 4 years old, my dad then me. And cheap ones don't last. Dear ones last longer, but still fail. Plugs, NGK or Denso. Now, there's a few iterations of this engine. If you're into Amigas, you know. If you don't, you're going to find out. So, if you can get GM ones, get GM ones, because you're probably not going to get any better. Again, Rock Auto, I think they were £3 each. So, £18 for 6 spark plugs. The earlier engines, the 2.5 and the 3 litre, ran what we call U-groove. You can see there, you got a tip either side to create a better spark. The later ones, which were emissions controlled, or a lot tighter emissions controlled, had 2 there, and then 2 there as well, 4-pronged. Now, they're supposed to last a lot longer. Again, I don't think they do really, but what I can tell you is I always find it runs a lot better on these U-grooves, the 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to fit. I'm going to fit 6 new U-grooves, Denso, right spec, and I'm going to put 2 brand new Delphi coil packs on, so I know I'm not going to have any issues whatsoever. But the ones that are on it at the moment are okay, so I will keep them as a spare, because just because they're brand new, they may not last that long, we don't know. But for the price I got them for, and the fact I'm doing all this work because I'm doing Shedfest and going on holiday in it this year for a long drive, I thought I'll treat it to a full ignition service. So, coil packs and plugs. The first thing to do on this is make sure you get all the little brackets and clips out the way. This side is much harder on this car. You got the wire loom, the aircon pipe, some breather thing, can't remember what that is. And you've got to get all this out the way because the coil pack is under there. Yay! But it's okay, we've done it before. So we'll take this off first. Somewhere safe. I'll forget that's there with the socket, because I'll forget that's there as well. There we go. Move down out the way. Aircon pipe out the bracket. Oh, nails. Nails. That wasn't bolted in. Here's something else that was future Dave's problem and I've not done. There we go. Right, we can just about see that now. So that has AUTOALEX. And I've got a feeling it's the same size as what I've just had. Yes, it is. So, little extension. Oh, same. First one's the right one. There we go. That's like easy. Don't go like that. Yep, you got some there you go, there's one. That's it, remember now, you've got to take that off. 17 minutes, right? The real height. I should know what I'm doing really, shouldn't I? Take that off. If I remember right, that's it now. Move that way. That goes there. That's there. That's there. That's there. There we go. That goes there. There we go. Lovely jubbly. That's that off. And then this car's still too high. Well, I was well and truly on there. So, that one has failed a little bit, I'd say, because it's broke down at the back. Good job I'm swapping it. But, do you know what? In an emergency, it would still work. So, on to taking the 3 spark plugs out. Now, nice thin wall socket, these are a godsend. So this, it's got a wobble socket on the end, built into the bar, you can't take it off. It is a spark plug socket. Instead of the rubber bung that you always get in them that falls out, it's got a magnet. Amazon. Remember what I said? Cheap is okay, as long as it's reasonable quality. For doing stuff like this, it's absolutely fine. I've had these a long time now. I've done a lot of spark plugs, and they are absolutely fine. Oh look, U-groove, and they actually look really good. Very nice. Oh, now ain't that funny? So, here's one for you, YouTube. U-groove, Denso, U-groove, Denso. You can see the tip size is a lot different in the middle. I hope you can see that anyway. The flat size is also different. They are both K20 Densos, however, the new one, TXR, the old one, TNR. No idea. They come back for this engine. They come back for this engine. If you know, post it in the comments. Let's get the new ones in. Always check on the end of your plugs that the little tit is nice and tight. So, another common issue with these V6 Amigas is the plastic rocker cover's leaking. A lot of people say it's because people over tighten them, this and that. I think it's just because the plastic, they end up warping eventually. So these aren't too bad, but they do leak a little bit. So when I took my plugs out, the back cylinder on the passenger side, that was caked in oil, which isn't good, obviously. And then the middle plug on this side was also oily. The rocker cover gaskets have been done with genuine Vauxhall gaskets, and they were torqued up exactly as per the book. Again, make sure the tit's tight. So I do need new covers. I'd like to get an aluminium set, but they're very hard to get and very expensive. So I just keep taking the plugs out and cleaning them. It's not the right thing to do. But what I did notice though, that's an awfully rich cylinder compared to all the others. So either the plug wasn't running right, or we've got a bit of a fueling issue on that cylinder. Might need investigating, or I might just leave it. When I was saying before about the coil packs being handed, not only be handed, you can have a look at them and it will give you an indication as to whether, not too tight, don't forget aluminium heads, don't over tighten your spark plugs. This is the new one, you can see, clean metal, plastic all the way around. Now these haven't been in that long, probably 3 years. There you go, that's what I was saying before. Whether you can see that. Cylinders 1, 3 and 5. So these were, I think these were Bosch ones. But if you have a look, see how they're starting to rust and split and crack. That's never a good thing for electronics, shall we say. So I say I'll keep it as a spare because it has been running okay, but yeah, nice new one in there. Drop it straight. So, job 2 done. Job 3, transmission fluid change. So, this Amiga is automatic. Now the gearbox in the car is an AR35, also known as 4L30E. The gearbox, people think is uncommon. It's actually not. It was used in an awful lot of different vehicles. A lot of BMWs in the 90s that used 4-speed boxes use variations of this, so it is quite a common gearbox actually. Isuzu Troopers, they use a version as well. They're not complicated to maintain in terms of servicing. You've got a filter, this has 3 bolts. It's bolts, that's all it is. You've got your oil, ATF fluid, This is the only thing I would say is ridiculously important when you're servicing an automatic transmission. Make sure you get the right spec oil. This car ran GM Dextron 3 spec. That doesn't exist anymore. No matter what a bottle tells you, it doesn't exist. Oils that meet Dex 3 spec exist. So that's why I use this. Fuchs ATF 4000, approvals, Dextron 3H. That is a perfectly good oil for this box. A 5, another one, and another one, 7 litres. That's plenty of fluid to do a service on this. Fluid, filter. Now there are 2 sumps on this transmission. There's the big sump and a little sump, which I'll show you in a second. Both pans need to come off, and yeah, it will get a bit messy. You can drain a bit out the side first, but then the rest of the oil will sit in the pan. Now, doing it this way is not necessarily the correct way, because there will still be fluid left in the torque converter. However, as I keep saying, keep it simple and cheap, and more frequent is just as good. Do it more frequently, just change the sump fluid. Okay, you're still leaving some of the old fluid in the torque converter. However, 80% of the fluid is now going to be swapped. It is going to be new. It will mix a little bit with the old oil. Every time you do it, less and less of the old oil will be coming out. It's fine. You know, it's better than not changing oil at all, which is what they say. These gearboxes are sealed for life. That is a load of utter crap. They need to be serviced. Just like anything with fluid in, they need a service. So, let's go have a look at it. Oh! So I do apologise again, my torch is now dead. It will come on for a split second, but big sunpan, little sunpan, that's all it is. Load the bolts around the outside, lift them off, and job's a good one. So I'm not going to really be able to film this because I've got no bleeding light. Urgh. I don't think these work anymore. No. So I'll put it at the side of the car so you can see me under it, but apologies, you're not going to see much. So job 3, transmission fluid change. Let's go. Bodies, I took the sumps off, all the bolts, nice and clean, filters off, nothing to it.